The Democrats opened their convention with a troubled economy and our most precarious national security position since World War II. Things look to get worse if Kamala Harris wins the White House. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Last Friday, the Democrats' presumptive nominee, Kamala Harris, delivered a much ballyhooed speech on what she plans to do about the economic mess that she and Joe Biden did so much to create. She almost sounded like she was running for president of socialist Venezuela. To begin with, she made a fundamental mistake about inflation. High prices are a result of inflation, not its cause. Let's repeat that. High prices are a result of inflation, not inflation's cause. Prices went up because of the value of the dollar went down. It was weakened. In addition, the COVID lockdowns disrupted the world's highly intricate supply chains, which also sent costs soaring. Recovery from those disruptions to production have been hampered by the monsoon of regulations the Biden-Harris team are inflicting. The reaction of the Biden-Harris administration to inflation is the ancient one of scapegoating. In Roman times, Christians were blamed for higher prices. In medieval times, witches were the scapegoats. A century ago, during the German hyperinflation, Jews were made the targets. During the 1970s, it was greedy oil producers. Today, it is price gouging by greedy corporations. Harris singled out supermarkets and grocery stores. Her solution? Price controls, which fail every time they're trotted out. Controls create shortages. People won't produce at a loss. Margins for food sellers are paper thin, less than 2 cents on the dollar. Even the Washington Post and New York Times gave Harris a Bronx cheer here. But Democrats and their media mouthpieces were supportive of her other nostrums. She wants 3 million more housing units to deal with shortages. The right way to do that is to encourage states to reduce barriers. In Texas, a housing development can be green-lighted in a matter of weeks. In California, it routinely takes years, if ever. A stable dollar would also help because it would bring with it lower interest rates. Instead, Harris wants a $25,000 subsidy for first-time home buyers, which will simply raise housing prices. Also, the Biden-Harris team is egging on government and government-related agencies to recklessly lower standards for mortgages. We saw where that led in the economic disaster of 2008. Naturally, Harris's affinity for price controls includes imposing national caps on how much rents can be raised. Experience repeatedly exposes how such schemes lead to shortages and maintenance issues. Harris proposed almost doubling child tax credits and a $6,000 credit for firstborn kids. Both are Trojan horses for a national guaranteed income plan, where you get money whether you're working or not. Also, the Biden-Harris plot for putting price controls on drugs is proceeding apace, which is already slowing investment in research and development for new life-saving, life-enhancing medicines and devices. Under a Harris administration, government spending will balloon even more, depriving the economy of productive resources. Her desires for big tax increases will crush commerce. All in all, Harris's is a formula for depression. We may see this week Harris's ideas on defense. Indications are they'll be as bad or worse than what she and Joe Biden have delivered since they took office in 2021. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.